And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to our very own Los Angeles County Supervisor, Janice Hahn.
Hello, Long Beach. As you heard, I'm Janice Hahn, and I'm representing the 10 million people in Los Angeles County, along with my colleague, Hilda Solis, who's the chair of the LA County Board of Supervisors. Governor Newsom has championed more progressive policies than any governor in the history of California. He represents everything this state stands for. He has doubled down on his commitment to solving California's most pressing issues. And he's leading us through unprecedented crisis, the likes of which no governor has ever seen before. That's why we proudly stand with him. That's why President Biden proudly stands with him. Californians, tomorrow will be an opportunity for us to double down on our values, to reinforce our leadership as the biggest Democratic state in the country. All we have to do is show up and vote no. Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome California Assembly Member Patrick O'Donnell.
Oh, wow. Great crowd, great night to be in Long Beach, is it not? A beautiful night? A Long Beach night? A good night to fight a recall? Okay. And good to be in the House of Vikings. Good to be in the House of Vikings. But, look at that. But seriously, this election is about two different visions for the state of California. The path with Trump Republican Larry Elder will harm working families, women, immigrants, our diverse communities, and the health of our planet. Do you agree? The path with Elder will take us right back to the darkest days of the COVID-19 pandemic. Do you agree? So tomorrow, we're going to reject that path, aren't we? Aren't we? Yes, we are. With Governor Newsom, we're going to continue to support working families and vulnerable communities, improve our education and healthcare systems, strengthen our California economy, and protect our environment. Do you agree? And we're going to defeat this pandemic. All we have to do tomorrow is vote no. How? One more time? No. I can't hear you. No. Let's defeat this recall tomorrow.
And now, welcome to the stage, California State Senator Lena Gonzalez.
I'm California State Senator Lena Gonzalez. I'm proudly representing 1 million people right here in Long Beach. So very proud of that. Tomorrow, though, friends, is a big test for our nation. We defeated Trump in 2020, but we didn't, we sure did, but we didn't defeat the extremist right-wing forces that Trump empowered. They're back at the ballot box tomorrow in California, and they have no place in California. Do they have a place in California? The Republicans who launched this shameless power grab know this. That's why they forced this election, because they know that their Trump agenda has no chance during a normal election year, no chance in Long Beach, and definitely no chance in California. So tomorrow, what are we gonna do tomorrow? We're gonna make sure that they know that they can't try this again. We're gonna get out the vote and vote no for Governor Newsom. The fate of California, friends, is in our hands. With just one day to go, we can't give up the fight yet. This Teamster truck driver daughter is gonna vote no. How about you? Vote no. Thank you.
What you got to say? Say hey, hey, hey. What you got to say? Hollywood, Hollywood swinging. Hollywood swinging. I remember not too long ago, I went to a theater and I saw the Kool and the Gang show. I always wanted to get into a band to sing my songs and then become a bad piano playing man. So here I am in this Hollywood city, the city of the stars, movies, women, and cars. Well, I guess I'll stop. Say hey, 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 hey. What you got to say? Say hey, hey, hey. What you got to say? Hollywood swinging. Hollywood.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Long Beach's very own Congressman Alan Lowenthal.
Thank you. I'm Congressman Alan Lowenthal, and I represent Long Beach in the United States House of Representatives. I want to say, first I want to thank President Biden and Governor Newsom for inviting me today, and thank every one of you for being here to protect and save democracy. You know, I remember the recall in 2003. I was in the state legislature, but this Republican Party today is quite different from that party. It's led by extremists who see every Democrat as an existential threat. It has become a party that denies science, that denies fact. It has become a party that denies and refuses to accept public health, reproductive rights, and the right of every American to vote. That's what the Republican Party is. And sadly, it's a party no longer moving us forward, but one that's really actively trying to tear us down. And make no mistakes, this recall, that reason why we're here, this recall is just another attack on our democracy. This recall is not about Governor Newsom, even though he is the target. Any rational person knows that Governor Newsom has done a tremendous job. He has followed science on the pandemic. He has made public health and safety a priority. He has continued the state's historic moves to combat climate change and to protect our environment. He has, every day since he was elected, put California first. But now it's up to us. We must vote. We must vote against this recall so that we can continue the governor's leadership on the pandemic. We must vote against this recall to continue our states leading the nation on the protection of our environment. And simply, we must vote against this recall to reject this blatant power grab of the extremists behind this recall. So everyone, please vote tomorrow, not only for yourself, but for the sake of our state, for the sake of our future. None of us can afford to sit this out. Thank you. Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet California's constitutional officers. Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis, Controller Betty Yee, Treasurer Fiona Ma, Insurance Commissioner Ricardo Lara, and Superintendent Tony Thurmond.
Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis. Some of you might know me as the first woman ever elected Lieutenant Governor in the state of California. I am very, very proud to be here with my friends, Controller Betty Yee, Treasurer Fiona Ma, and by the way, the three of us make up a historic majority of women serving in statewide office. and Superintendent of Public Instruction Tony Thurmond, and Insurance Commissioner Ricardo Lara. Now, you may look up here and see a lot of diversity, but I will tell you there are many things that we all have in common. Number one, every single one of your statewide elected officials in the state of California is a Democrat. We all fight for progressive democratic values. We all believe in a woman's right to choose. We all stand with our brothers and sisters in labor. We all believe that health care is a human right. And we believe climate change is real. And of course, we all believe in science-based approach to dealing with the COVID crisis. Unlike every single one of those Republicans who are trying to replace our fantastic Governor Gavin Newsom. So what are we going to do tomorrow? We are going to vote no on the Republican recall. As your statewide elected officers, we are your public servants. And it is a tremendous honor for us to be here with you, here supporting our Governor Gavin Newsom, and of course here to welcome to our beautiful Golden State, the President of the United States, Joe Biden. So I will leave you with one message as I bring up and introduce all of our statewides with their message, and that is tomorrow we will vote no on the Republican recall. Thank you.
Hello, Long Beach. Hello, Democrats. Okay, Californians, we are asking you to stand with our governor and help us defeat this Republican recall. We have 1 day left. How many of you have voted already? How did you vote? One more time? All right, let's make sure our friends and family vote the same way. The power is in our hands. Let's get this done, California.
Hello, Long Beach! So can I get something off my chest? Tell us. $276 million this recall election is costing us. And yes, the election is happening tomorrow, but we're going to send a message. We're going to send a message. We're going to resoundingly defeat this recall. We're going to say, not here in California, not tomorrow, not ever again. In 2020, we came out in record numbers to vote Trump out. And tomorrow, we will have the opportunity to reject Trumpism once more. California, the eyes of the nation are on us. They are on us. So, let's go. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Let's go! Vote no! Thank you.
Are you ready? Let me hear you say yeah. I think you might be ready. Let's try this one more time. Follow with me. Just vote no. Just vote no. Just vote no. I think you're ready. Let's give them a round of applause. Good evening, Long Beach. Good evening. Buenas noches. We love the call and response. It is such a pleasure to be with these incredible leaders, these incredible Democrats, and these incredible Californians to remind everyone that on tomorrow, we just vote no. Everyone knows that we have a governor who's provided more than $126 billion for public education. Do we recall a governor who does that? No! Do we recall a governor who's given free meals to all hungry kids? No. Do we recall a governor who's brought universal preschool for all 4-year-olds? No. Do we recall a governor who's brought more than $4 million for mental health resources as our students come back from a pandemic? No. So what are we going to do tomorrow? Vote no. You all are so ready. We can't say it enough. We have to make sure that tomorrow we show up in the strongest numbers possible. The Republicans couldn't beat Governor Newsom in a real election, so they tried to take advantage of a pandemic to beat him. But we won't let that happen on our watch. We're going to vote no. So make sure that those Republicans never come for us again in the state of California. So call all your friends, your family members, and do everything in your power to ensure that tomorrow California can stay the course for a bright future. One more time, what are we gonna do? Vote no! Great job, everybody, thank you.
Mi gente, how's Strong Beach doing today? Are we ready to defeat this ridiculous recall? All right, I'm proud to stand before you as the first and only LGBTQ plus person to serve in statewide office. And I say this because our community depends on allies like Governor Newsom for our civil rights. We know what Larry Elder has said about us. And don't even get me started about our Latino community and what he said. But the fact is that we cannot go backwards. Not on our watch. As a matter of fact, 1950s called and they want Larry Elder back. We got no time for that mess. We've already been through that. Now is the time for us to continue to celebrate who we are as Californians. The progressive policies that we continue to champion. We've proven that you can invest on immigrant rights, that you can fight for a woman's right to choose, that we can support our working families, that we can support good labor jobs. And guess what? The sky doesn't fall. We actually grow economically. That is the message that we're going to send tomorrow when we send everybody else packing and put our governor back in control of California. Because that is what we're going to do. Para mi comunidad latina, nadie ha hecho más para nuestra comunidad que el gobernador Newsom. Nadie ha luchado para asegurar de que tengamos un seguro médico para todas nuestras familias indocumentadas. Nadie está luchando más para la educación de nuestros hijos y hijas. Nosotros venimos a trabajar, venimos a contribuir a la economía de este estado. Necesitamos al gobernador que siga con nosotros y nosotros vamos a demostrar mañana que los latinos están con el gobernador Newsom. ¿A poco no? Entonces, what we gotta do, let's hear it one more time. Vote no! Vote no! Vote no! Vote no! Thank you.
Gentlemen, the chairman of the Democratic National Committee, Jamie Harrison.
Oh my, it is so good to be here in California with y'all. I wish I could ship some of this weather with me back to South Carolina. But let me tell you this, folks, it is so good to be with you all today. I love you. I love you. Listen, I'm so excited that you guys have the other USC over here. I understand. I'm so excited that we've got Governor Newsom and President Biden joining us later. Folks, President Biden knows what it means to be a public servant. He has proven it his entire career. He knows that being a Democrat means showing up, doing the work, and getting the results. Because, my friends, I say this all the time, all over the country. This D stands for delivers. Democrats deliver. And thanks to Governor Newsom, nowhere is that more true than in the great state of California. He's made California a leader in beating back this pandemic, and he has been a champion for the president's Build Back Better agenda. And folks, he's just getting started. You don't need to take my word for it. Just look at his California comeback plan that became law last month. With this historic plan, Governor Newsom is going to make universal pre-K a reality in California. He's going to modernize California's infrastructure and make this state a leader in fighting the climate crisis. He's going to send stimulus checks to millions of middle-class families. And folks, that's on top of the $1,400 that President Biden already delivered. It should come as no surprise that Governor Newsom and the California Democrats have delivered in such a big way. It is who we are as a party. It is in our DNA. And if you don't believe me, just look at the past 60 years. When the American people need real leadership, when they need real results, it's Democrats who deliver. We delivered the Voting Rights Act when folks like my grandparents were going through hell just to cast a ballot under Jim Crow in South Carolina. We delivered Medicare and Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act because we didn't think you should have to choose between going broke and not going to the doctor. With the leadership of President Biden and Vice President Harris, we delivered the American Rescue Plan to fight this global pandemic and start building back better. Folks, the Republicans on the ballot for this recall would love to undo all of the progress we fought for so far. The leading Republican, Larry Elder, Lord, you know, what we, as we say in South Carolina, bless his heart, he doesn't think climate change is real. He wants to get rid of the minimum wage. He would vote against the Civil Rights Act of the 1960s. He's spreading misinformation about COVID and vaccines. And that's the difference, folks. Republicans in California are just like the Republicans in Washington and in Texas and in Florida. They talk a whole lot, they spread conspiracy theories, but they don't do a damn thing to help anybody. But my friends, when they refuse to show up, Democrats deliver. And you got that in Governor Newsom. We got a simple message. A simple message. And it's a message we need folks all across the state to know. If you want a leader who shows up every day, not just on election day, vote no on question 1. If you're looking for a leader who steps up in times of need, vote no on question 1. If you are looking for a leader who delivers real results, vote no on question 1. Say no to the lies, say no to the power grabs and to the political games, and tomorrow vote no to make sure Governor Newsom can continue to deliver for the people of California. God bless you all. Thank you all so much.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the California Democratic Party Chair, Rusty Hicks.
Good evening, Long Beach. How we doing? Are we ready to vote no? I think we're ready to vote no. I'm proud to be here with each and every one of you this evening. I'm incredibly proud to be joined by my fellow statewide officers, our state controller and first vice chair, Betty Yee. Let's give her a big, big round of applause. SEIU 2015 President and our Party Controller, April Verrett. And DNC member and our party secretary, Melahat Rafi'i. I'm also proud to say that I take my marching orders from these phenomenal women leaders. And we are all honored to be here to stand with Governor Newsom and to welcome President Biden to California. But I want to take a quick moment just to recognize some remarkable grassroots leaders, each and every one of you here today. Because for months, you've all worked tirelessly to fight this Republican recall. Am I right? And together, we've made the calls, we've knocked on the doors, we've sent the text messages, we've mailed the postcards. We've told our friends and our families and our coworkers and our neighbors to vote no on this Republican recall because we understand what is at stake. We know that it's a question of a turning point, whether we're going to take a big step backwards or whether we've got the opportunity to continue to move California forward. And now with just a little over 24 hours to go in this critical election, I'm asking each and every one of you to dig a little deeper, to go a little further, to not leave anything on the field and leave nothing to chance. Because tomorrow, we're going to defeat this Republican recall, right? And we're going to continue to build a California that works for all of us, right? So say it with me one more time. Vote no, vote no, vote, vote. Thanks, everybody.
She'd take Colorado if he'd take her with him. Closes the door before the winter lets the cold in, and wonders if her love is strong enough to make him stay. She's answered by the taillights shining through the window pane.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to the one and only Mariachi Divas.
Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. De la Sierra Morena, cielito lindo, vienen bajando un par de ojitos negros, cielito lindo de color. contrabando. Ese lunar que tienes, cielito lindo, junto a la boca, no se lo des a nadie, cielito lindo, que a mí me toca. ¡Sombrero, chiquitas! De domingo a domingo te vengo a ver. ¿Cuándo será domingo, cielito lindo, para volver? Ay, 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 ay. Yo bien quisiera que toda la semana, cielito lindo, domingo fuera. Ay, 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 ay.
Y a ver esos gritos. ¡Ah! Yo a las morenas quiero desde que supe que morena es la Virgen de Guadalupe. Ay, 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 ay. Es bien sabido que el amor de morena nunca es fingido. Ay, 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 ay. ¡Vamos!
Sácale polvo, chulas. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, 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 oh. Saca tu butaquito, cielito lindo, y velo sacando. Que si tú tienes miedo, cielito lindo, yo estoy temblando. Saca tu butaquito, cielito lindo, y velo sacando. Que si tú tienes miedo, cielito lindo, yo estoy temblando. Ajá, 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 qué risa me da. En ver tu tirana falsedad. Ajá, 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 qué risa me da. En ver tu tirana falsedad.
When you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning, I'll fever all through the night.
Everybody's got the fever. That's just something that you should know. Fever isn't such a new thing. Fever started long ago.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, tell about it.
Romeo loved Juliet.
Uh-huh.
Juliet, she felt the same. When he put his arms around her, he said, Julie, baby, you're my flame. I'll give it fever.
Fever, 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 yeah.
When we kiss it, fever without flaming you.
Oh, fever, I'm
a fire. Fever, yeah, I burn for truth.
Captain Smith and Pocahontas had a very bad affair. But when her daddy tried to kill him, she said, Daddy, Daddy, don't you dare. He gives me fever. With his kisses, fever when he holds me tight. Fever, I'm his missus. Oh, Daddy, won't you treat him right?
Now you've heard our story.
Oh, it's your story.
Here's the point that we have made.
I'm listening.
Chicks were born to give you fever.
That's right. Be it Fahrenheit or centigrade.
They give you fever.
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
you kiss them. Fever, if you live, you learn. Fever, tell you sizzle. What a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to burn. I tell you, what a lovely way to burn. All right now, what a lovely way to burn. I like that. What a lovely way.
Here today to fight for California's governor, to fight for Gavin Newsom.
They wouldn't be trying to recall him, but for the fact that he has always stood for reproductive rights. They wouldn't be trying to recall him, except they know he stands for our dreamers and our farm workers. They wouldn't be trying to recall him, except that he says that access to health care is right and not a privilege of just those who can afford it.
Voting no means women are respected, children are protected, and our planet is defended.
It is because of who he fights for, and so we are here to say today we fight for Gavin Newsom.
Because my name may appear on the ballot, but we're all on the ballot. Our principles, our values are on the ballot. Racial justice is on the ballot. Social justice is on the ballot. Economic justice is on the ballot. Environmental justice is on the ballot.
Are you ready to get in this fight? Then let's get this done. Stop the Republican recall. Vote no. Vote no. Vote no.
Ladies and gentlemen, now let's meet a dreamer from right here at Long Beach City College, Sharifa Ahmed Momo.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sharifa. Oh, you can't hear me? Mask. Is that better? All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sharifa Ahmed Momo. I am a proud Californian, a Long Beach City College student. Go Vikings! and I'm a dreamer. I am proud to say that I come from a Nigerian immigrant family, and I know that Governor Newsom and the first partner, Jennifer Siebel Newsom, have celebrated and uplifted immigrant families just like mine that make California so special. They have been unwavering champions for dreamers just like me and for our undocumented communities that I have advocated for every day. They've done this through expanded access to health care, unprecedented investments for immigrant and English learning children, and protections for immigrant workers. That is why I'm so proud to stand here with Governor Newsom and First Partner Jennifer Siebel Newsom. Like the governor, the First Partner has worked very hard for the well-being of all Californians alike. She is dedicated to lifting up women and their families, breaking down barriers for our youth, and furthering the cause of gender equity in California. I'm so honored to introduce her today. So, without further ado, everyone, let's give it up for our First Partner, Jennifer Siebel Newsom.
And you are a California treasure. We are lucky to have young women like you. Good evening, everyone. ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Estamos bien? Are we ready to give President Joe Biden a warm California welcome? Woo! What a relief it is to have a commander-in-chief who has the courage and conviction to lead the country out of darkness, to unite us, and to do right by us. A president who knows that there is no greater act of service or higher calling than to serve the American people. Yes. And who does so with grace and compassion every step of the way. Yes. Thank you, President Biden, for yours and Jill's sacrifices and leadership and continued support for my husband, California's Governor Gavin Newsom. Let's not forget, folks, that when Gavin was elected governor less than 3 years ago, it hasn't been that long, he made a commitment to the people of California. He promised to fight for equality, justice, and opportunity for everyone. And from the moment he took office, Gavin has worked very, very hard to deliver on that promise. As governor, he's propelled our state forward and advanced California's reputation as a global leader on climate justice, economic justice, gender justice, and criminal justice reform. And recognizing that California's strength lies in the diversity of those who call the Golden State home, Gavin has made leaps and bounds to ensure a California for all. I am especially proud of the work that he's done to advance gender equity and a working families agenda, to ensure that California women they're not just supported, that California women and families aren't just supported, but that they thrive. To put it simply, the Newsom administration is a pro-woman, pro-family, pro-immigrant administration. And we know that women, especially women of color, shoulder the burden of inequality, a fact that came into even sharper focus in the past year and a half. So together, Gavin and I have committed to closing the pay gap. We're increasing women's representation on corporate boards. We've doubled the state's investments in tax credits for low-income working families. And we provided grants to small businesses essential for female entrepreneurs who face unequal access to capital. And as parents of 4 young children, Gavin and I know the bold investments in kids at the earliest of ages have a tremendous impact on the trajectory of their lives. That's why we've expanded paid family leave. And why we're making universal pre-K and universal school meals a reality for all California families. It's why the governor's work to reimagine the public education system with historic investments in wraparound services, from mental health support to social services to high-quality after-school programs. It's also why he just made historic investments in childcare. These are the building blocks that our children need to succeed in life. They're also the measures that uplift entire families and their communities, especially those who have been hit hardest by the pandemic. Y para los californianos hispanohablantes, quiero que ustedes sepan que Gavin nunca ha dejado de luchar por ustedes, por las familias, por los inmigrantes y por los trabajadores. Porque Gavin sabe que cuando los latinos avanzan, todos progresamos. Sí se puede. Sí se puede. Sí se puede. And let's talk about the pandemic, shall we? When it comes to COVID-19, Gavin followed the science from day one, and he made the tough calls necessary to keep Californians safe. Under his leadership, California became the first state to require vaccinations for healthcare workers, and the first state to ensure that school staff are vaccinated or tested regularly. Leading is the California way, and no one knows that better than Gavin Newsom. Unfortunately, there has been a very vocal and misinformed group of extreme right-wingers. From Trump supporters to QAnon conspiracy theorists to anti-immigrant activists to anti-vaxxers who have set their eyes on recalling Gavin since the day he set foot in office. And let's be clear, these are the same people who are stacking courts across the country and the same people pushing abortion bans like Texas's insidious assault on a woman's right to determine her own destiny. Let's not kid ourselves. This Republican recall is an outright attack on California's values, and it's the GOP's attempt to roll back decades of progressive policies. So it's up to all of us to stand up for California, a state that believes in science, a state that believes in facts, a state that believes in helping one another, not in fanning the flames of bigotry, hate, and misinformation. Entonces les pido que ustedes y sus amigos voten no en la elección mañana para dejar que Gavin y yo pudiéramos terminar nuestro trabajo en nombre de todas las familias de California. I know we can do this, California. I have faith in us. I have faith that together we will defeat this recall. That together we will realize the California dream. And that together California will roar back stronger than ever. We can do this. Si se puede. Si se puede. Si se puede. And now I have the incredible se puede, si 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 se puede. And now I have the incredible honor of introducing a wonderful friend who represents the best of California. Since taking office, Mayor Robert Garcia has led this city boldly, championing progressive education policies, launching a robust climate action plan, and and establishing Long Beach as a national model for vaccination efforts. And he knows firsthand the devastating impact of COVID-19, which is why he's prioritized equity from the start. So let's give it up. Demos un gran aplauso para el alcalde Robert Garcia.
Hey, Long Beach. I love you. Love you too. I think some of my former students are over there. I want to first, of course, just thank the first partner for her incredible words and for being such an incredible leader for our state. And most importantly, I want to welcome all of you to Long Beach. I also just want to say that the president and the governor, who you are going to hear from in just a few minutes, are here. They are excited to be in our community, and we are incredibly excited, of course, to have them. And I can't tell you how honored we are to have our fearless governor and the president of the United States right here in America's greatest city. Mr. President, welcome to Long Beach. Now, Long Beach is what America is all about. And California is what America is all about. People from every race, from every faith, living and working together. And even though we all come from different walks of life, and in my case, a different country, we all look out for each other. I'm so proud that this country accepted my family, a family of immigrants, as Americans. But our values in our democracy are under attack by extreme radicals, some of whom are in our very own Congress. They talk of patriotism, but they don't understand what makes our country truly great. Our diversity, our compassion, and our deep love of our people and our country. To our president, thank you for supporting immigrants, working people, labor, women, the LGBTQ+ community, and those that are counting on us for help and support. Now, this year has been a tough year. Many of us have lost so much, and I know many that here have lost family and friends. Personally, I've lost 2 parents to this awful pandemic. Now, my mom was an essential healthcare worker. She was a proud Latina, a proud immigrant woman. And when my mom passed, President Biden called me just to make sure that my family and I were doing okay. That is the kind of man that Joe Biden is. Now, Mr. President, you brought great comfort to me and to my family, and we will never forget it and always be grateful. And here in Long Beach and California, we have come together to fight and protect others from this virus. Governor Newsom has led the state and kept people safe. He has followed the science and made the tough calls. But now Larry Elder and Trump extremists want to take us backwards. And let's be real, or as our good friend, Vice President Kamala Harris would say, let's speak truth. This election isn't a referendum on the governor. It's a referendum on us. It's an up or down vote on all the people who make California great. It's a referendum on people who believe in science and vaccinations. And it's a referendum on everyone who has worked hard this past year to keep us safe from COVID-19. Now, make no mistake, this recall is an attack on all of us. But to Larry Elder and the Republicans behind this recall, we have a message for you Not on our watch. We are going to say no to this ridiculous recall. We are going to have our governors back. We are going to have our presidents back. And we won't stop fighting for what makes this incredible country really great. Now let's give a big round of applause to our president, to our governor, to our first partner, and to all the amazing people that are here. Let's give them a big round of applause. A Long Beach applause. And most importantly, thank you, Long Beach, and vote no on the recall. Thank you.
To dance our way out of our constriction. Gonna be freaking up and down the hang-up alleyway. With a groove I only got, we shall all be moved. Ready or not, here we come. Getting down. The whole funk, nothing but the funk. Ready or not, here we come. Getting down on the one which we believe in. Here's my chance to dance my way out of my constriction.
Ladies and gentlemen, United States Senator Alex Padilla.
Southern California. Good evening, California. Are we ready to defeat the recall? I said, are we ready to defeat this recall? So I got a message to everybody who's watching from home tonight. Californians, it is time to reject this Republican recall. You know, California proudly leads the nation in so many ways. And that's why we can't let Republican Larry Elder take us back to the Trump years. I know that we all remember how painful the last 4 years were. Americans suffered, the truth was eroded, progress, so much progress that we had made was lost, and justice was subdued. And so guess what we did? We fought hard to take back our country. And we triumphed. But the forces that were stoked by Trump's victory in 2016 didn't go away. In fact, we watched them in full force on January 6th of this year as they led an assault on our democracy. That was a sad day. But guess what? They did not prevail. Our democracy withstood. But now they've come for California. This sham recall election is just the latest in a string of attacks on our democracy. And so we know what we need to do. Vote no. Vote. 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 So let's make sure we get this message across to all of our friends, all of our family members, all of our friends, all our neighbors, all of our co-workers. I urge Californians to do everything in your power to reject this Republican recall, to reject Republican Larry Elder, the same way we rejected 4 more years of Trump rule. I urge all Californians to reject this recall so Governor Newsom can get back to leading us to a better future. I urge all Californians to reject this recall so that President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris can continue to championing a national agenda for working families. And I urge all Californians to reject this recall for the future of all of our children, including immigrant children, who deserve all the opportunity that this state and this country can provide. You know, Governor Newsom has been a champion for all the children that I'm talking about. And that's why I'm so proud, not just to call him my friend, not just to call him my governor, but to call him our governor, and why I'm so honored to introduce him tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the governor of the great state of California, Governor Gavin Newsom.
Thank you, everybody. You're all just happy because you know we're almost near the end of the program. I know my audience. It is great to be here with each and every one of you. I'm humbled and inspired and gratified that all of you took the time to be here. Especially that section right there. Man. You guys are coming on the bus with me right after this. We're not done campaigning. Oh man, we got 24 more hours.
Long Beach, we have 24 more hours to vote no on this Republican recall. 24 more hours to send a message, a big and powerful message. But let me start by just making a point, because it needs to be said. I just heard the mayor speak, and I couldn't be more proud of the mayor and remarkable U.S. Senator that I had the privilege of, having a chance to appoint in Alex Padilla. And by the way, there's a rule in politics. Always have the person that appointed you introduce you. And so I'm grateful to the senator for his introduction. But I want to make a point about Long Beach, because I think about Long Beach, I think about LA County. I think about the state of California. I think about the energy that's here in this audience. I may actually bring you, after the election's over, with me on the road. Unbelievable. But I want to make this point. We're in Long Beach, and we drove in with the president, and we looked at all those remarkable people on the road. There are a lot more than you saw than the folks just out there celebrating the fact that President Biden is here in California. But we're also celebrating the fact that we're in Long Beach, one of the most diverse cities, in the most diverse county, LA County, in the most diverse state, California, in the world's most diverse democracy, the United States of America. We celebrate our diversity in this city. We celebrate our diversity in this state. And at our best, we celebrate our diversity in the United States of America. What makes California great is that we can live together and advance together and prosper together across every conceivable difference. It's a remarkable thing. It really is. And I want you to all know that issue, the issue of diversity, of pluralism, the issue that defines so much of our politics, that's all on the ballot tomorrow night. Racial justice is on the ballot tomorrow night. Economic justice is on the ballot tomorrow night. Social justice is on the ballot tomorrow night. Long Beach environmental justice is on the ballot tomorrow night. I just came back from Northern California. I had the privilege of being with the President, and we took a flight, a Marine One, over Grizzly Flats, California. And any of you been paying any attention to what's going on in Northern California? A lot of folks all across the country are not surprised why we began the day up there. 2.2 million acres have already burned in the state of California so far this year. 7,400 fires. We currently have 13,000 personnel, firefighters, dozers, hand crews, 13,000 working 15 active wildfires right now. 4 of the top 20 largest wildfires in California's history have occurred just in the last few months here in the state of California. The hots are getting a lot hotter. Not just in this state, but around the globe. We just experienced the hottest summer in California's recorded history. And yet, we still have people that are in complete denial, that don't believe climate change is real. People that still call it a hoax. Larry Elder, who calls it a myth. Larry Elder, who says his solution to the climate issue is more offshore oil drilling off the coast of Long Beach. It's a remarkable moment in our state and nation's history. With all the progress we've made to define ourselves not by our differences, but the things that bind us together, to be a majority-minority state, California. to make the progress we have made over the course of the last number of decades to lead the nation in a series of issues. All of that is at risk if we don't turn out and vote no on this recall tomorrow. You've heard this. You've heard it from others. You heard, not just from my cheering section over there. You heard it. You've heard it from others. Oh, I love Long Beach. I don't need to wind this crowd up for the president. Long Beach. Long Beach. On the other side of this recall, if we fall short, is someone that believes in no minimum wage. Someone believes there should be no corporate tax. Someone that believes we should privatize Social Security. Someone who believes we should cut Medicaid. Someone that believes that women don't have a constitutional right to choose. That is on the ballot. Think about this. We have someone on the other side of this ballot that thinks women are not as smart as men. He actually wrote an op-ed saying women aren't as smart in politics and civics and issues of economics. Tell my wife, Jennifer Newsom, that. Man. Thinks there's no glass ceiling. Doesn't believe in pay equity laws. Thinks women complain too much about sexism. Thinks minorities complain too much about racism. I don't know if you saw in the You Can't Make It Up file, did you see the video that just came out with Larry Elder reflecting on the fact that the state of California became the first state in the country to begin to explore the issue of reparations? He said, well, I'd be a little bit more cautious, because he said, what about reparations? This is what Larry Elder said. He said, what about reparations for slave owners? This is 2021, and a candidate for governor of the state of California said that. Does it surprise, though, any of you that we have someone on the other side of this that's to the right of Donald Trump? To the right of Donald Trump. Now, we said this, Long Beach, we said this, and I want to get to the main event and introduce you to the President of the United States, but I want to just make a few final points. We said to you last year, we said this to you, we said, every one of us said it to each other, and we all stepped up and we stepped in. We said the most important election in our lifetime, the most important and impactful election in our lifetime was defeating Donald Trump in 2020. And you did, we did, and I got proof coming here in a moment. President Joe Biden. But you saw what happened. You saw what had happened on election night, the big lie. You saw what happened a few months later, January 6th, and the insurrection. You've seen what's happened across this country in voter suppression all across the United States of America. You saw what happened in Texas and the fact that we have other Republican governors that hope to model that Texas legislation as it relates to denying women the right to choice. We may have defeated Donald Trump, but we have not defeated Trumpism. Trumpism is still on the ballot in California, and that's why it's so important, not just for all of us here, 40 million Americans strong in the nation's largest and most populous state, but also to send a statement all across the United States of America that Trumpism has no place here, and Trumpism will be defeated all across the United States of America, because we're better than that. We're better than that as a nation. Start to focus on the things that unite us. Come together across our differences. Dr. King said it better than anyone else. We're all bound together by a web of mutuality. We're all better off when we're all better off. That's the spirit that defines the Biden administration. That's the spirit that defines Democrats and our democratic principles and democratic values. Those are the principles, those are the values we hold dear in the state of California. So Democrats, I'm asking you, knowing that you understand what's at stake, I'm asking you nonetheless to reconcile a fundamental fact. The future is not just something to experience, the future is something to manifest. The future doesn't just happen. You have to make it so. It's our decisions, not conditions, that determine our fate and future. So I'm asking you over the course of the next 24 hours to go out, to make phone calls, to send those text messages, to do the social media posts, to continue the door knocking, and continue to vocalize with all kinds of energy that you have here tonight to vote no on this Republican recall. And with that powerful admonition, and with your voices united in opposition to this recall, let me ask you with that same level of intensity and purpose and passion to introduce, as I introduce, someone of character, of honor, of decency, someone that meets the moment and defines the dream. And as I introduce the President of the United States, I want to just remind you of this simple fact. There are two dreams. There's the American dream and the California dream. No other state in the United States attaches itself to the dream. And so let me introduce to you someone that defines the dream, defines the American dream, someone whose faith and devotion to the cause of democracy, whose faith and devotion to the cause of what binds us together, someone whose character and dignity, someone who believes in each and every one of you and the power of possibility. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, President Joe Biden.
Good to be back. Thank you. Well, I tell you what. Thank you. Thank you. You all been standing a long time. And I tell you what, you know, the governor and I have a lot in common. We both married way up. Jennifer, thank you for the welcome. Thank you for what you do. And thank you for becoming friends with Jill. I'm Jill's husband, Joe Biden. And folks, Mayor Garcia, it's good to be back in your town. Last time out here, we were talking about infrastructure. Now we got a lot of money coming this way. We got a lot working. We got an infrastructure bill that we passed, and we're going to do an awful lot more to build this incredible, incredible economy. You know, someone was saying to me earlier today, the most diverse state in the nation, Matter of fact, I think it was your senator. Most diverse state in the nation, the most different state in the nation, the biggest state in the nation, and has one of the largest economies in the world, and no one sees any inconsistency there. It's because we're diverse you have the largest economy in the world. Senator Padilla, thank you for your leadership in the United States Senate. You're doing an incredible job. And I know she was here last week, but I've got to give a shout out to my favorite daughter of California, who's always talking about you all. Talks about you all the time like I talk about Delaware. She loves you. Matter of fact, she thinks you're the only state in the nation. Vice President Kamala Harris. Of course, the reason I'm here, and you all are here, is to thank and support our friend, Governor Gavin Newsom, the best governors in the country. California, I'm not sure you know it, but if you didn't know it, you should. The eyes of the nation, this is not hyperbole, the eyes of the nation are on California. Because the decision you're about to make isn't just going to have a huge impact on California. It's going to reverberate around the nation, and quite frankly, not a joke, around the world. And here's why. All of you know that last year I got to run against the real Donald Trump. Well, this year, the leading Republican running for governor is the closest thing to a Trump clone that I've ever seen in your state. No, I really mean it. And he's leading the other team. He's the clone of Donald Trump. Can you imagine him being governor of this state? You can't let that happen. There's too much at stake. And here's why it's so important for you all to vote no on the recall. First, voting no will be protecting California from Trump Republicans trying to block us from beating this pandemic. COVID-19, Gavin Newsom has had the courage to lead, stand up for science, for the very thing he's been one of the leading governors in the nation, protecting people and vaccinating his state. Meanwhile, we see something else in parts of America. Right now, there are certain Republican governors, like the governor of Mississippi, who are talking to me about being dictatorial, about demanding that people get vaccinated or tested. People are doing everything they can to block or undermine the life-saving mandates we proposed, putting their people at risk, putting their children at risk, putting their states at risk. And here's the worst thing. For these Republican governors, it isn't about public health, about the health of the people. It's about politics. Look, folks, just look at the hypocrisy. The same governors who are attacking me and your governor for COVID-19 mandates are in states with some of the strictest vaccine mandates for children attending school in the whole country. Talk about inconsistency. In Mississippi, children are required to be vaccinated against measles, mumps, rubella, chickenpox, hepatitis B, polio, tetanus, and more. It's a state requirement. But now, in the midst of this pandemic that has taken over 650,000 lives, I propose a mandate for COVID-19 vaccines, and it's an outrage. It's an infringement on freedom. Look, folks, we don't need politics in this battle against COVID. We need science. We need courage. We need leadership. We need Gavin Newsom. A governor who follows science, who's got the courage to do what's right, and who'll lead, and I apologize for coughing. Last week, I laid out a 6-part plan for the fall to beat this pandemic. First, vaccinate the unvaccinated with new vaccine requirements. 2, protect the vaccinated. 3, keep children safe in school. And 4, increase testing and masking. And keep our economy going strong and take care of people with COVID-19. That's what the science tells us. We have to beat the Delta variant of COVID-19. Gavin will be a governor who will help us finish the job. Folks, send a message to the nation. Courage matters. Leadership matters. Science matters. Vote to keep Gavin. Get vaccinated to save lives. Second, by voting no, you'll be keeping a governor who respects women instead of someone who wrote that women know less about politics and economics than men. He hadn't met my wife. Look, if you have any doubt about how important it is to have Gavin, who respects women's right to just take a look at what's happening in states like Texas. They just passed a law empowering complete strangers to become bounty hunters, going after women who exercise their right to choose. A law that the United States Supreme Court refused to stop. Now other states say they're looking to replicate the Texas law. If you don't think women's rights are under assault, you're not looking. California, keep Gavin Newsom and send a message to the nation. Women are to be respected and their rights protected. Third, by voting no, you'll be protecting California from another Trump climate denier who said global warming is, quote, a crock and depicts it as a myth. Look, it's hard to believe there's any climate deniers left in America. But let me tell you something, there are. The last place you want someone like that is in the governor's office in California. You all see what's happening. Why are fires burning 2 million acres in California this year alone? 5 million acres have burned, 5.9 in the region. That's bigger than the entire state of New Jersey, and it's a big state. The governor and I were just in Sacramento for a briefing on the Calder fire. Last week, I saw the destruction and the death caused by Hurricane Ida in New York, New Jersey, and Louisiana. Folks, extreme weather is here. The climate crisis isn't going away. It's getting worse. We have to deal with it, not deny it. So California, you've got to keep Gavin Newsom as governor. And send a message to the nation that we have to deal with the climate crisis now. We can't wait any longer. When I got elected president, I immediately rejoined the Paris Climate Accord. Just since we put that together in our administration, in Barack's administration, just since then, everything has collapsed even further. We don't have much time, not a joke. We're talking about 9 to 10 years before we pass the point of no return. And our children need it, the planet needs it. Look, fourth, by voting no, you'll be standing up for a governor who protects workers rather than one who believes there shouldn't be. I can't believe this guy. There shouldn't be a minimum wage? The leading Republican candidate thinks the minimum wage should be 0. Look, working people have taken on the chin too long. We need leaders like Gavin who respect them, hear them, fight for them. To me, it's pretty basic. If you're working a 40-hour week You shouldn't be living in poverty. That's why I support a $15 minimum wage. Gavin is leading the way in California. I'm so tired of trickle-down economics. It's about time we build from the bottom up and the middle out. So California, keep Gavin and send a message this time. Give working people just a fighting chance. They have never, ever, 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 ever let the country down. All they want is just an even shot. They have never let the country down. Folks, I could go on, but here's the deal. I'm going to make this as simple as I can. You either keep Gavin Newsom as your governor, or you'll get Donald Trump. It's not a joke. Republican governor blocking progress on COVID-19, who is also anti-woman, anti-worker, a climate denier, who doesn't believe in choice. The choice should be absolutely clear. Gavin Newsom, you have a governor who has the courage to lead. And Gavin, you have a governor who shares the state's values. And Gavin, you have a governor to make sure Donald Trump's dark, destructive, divisive politics never finds a place in California. So please, not a joke, on behalf of the people of Delaware and Pennsylvania and Minnesota and all across America, don't take anything for granted. If you're registered, you've got a ballot in the mail. If you haven't opened it, open to mark no and put it in the mailbox tonight. If you want to vote in person, make sure you know where you're going to vote in your county. And if you've already voted, make sure your family and friends are voting tomorrow. California, I mean this sincerely, the eyes of the nation are on you. I'm not joking. I'm not joking about that. You've got to vote no on the recall. Keep Gavin as governor. The rest of America is counting on you, and so am I. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.